What's up, y'all? Don't hesitate to say it back. Come on, let me hear y'all.
What's up, Brie?
Yeah. Now y'all know we don't even do all that talking. Let's get right into this video.
An aspiring rapper gives his all to achieve his dream.
He had already accomplished a whole lot, performing and opening up for, Ludacris.
Who is this?
I make more money and I'm weak than I'm make all their life.
What's my man's name? Rapper Raheem Grant. What was his rap name, or was that it?
Stops when shots ring out.
She's hard to understand. She is screaming.
Who is she?
On the floor with gunshot wounds.
That's when I was like, this can't be real.
The gruesome crime scene challenges investigators to question every detail before them.
It was a dangerous crowd that he ran with. We don't have enough evidence at this point to tell the story. Let's keep going. You never know what's going to turn up and help us out.
Okay,
and
let's get into it.
Finally closes on this investigation. A calculated killer will step into the spotlight.
I told them that they need to find his cell phone. If he was doing anything, it was recorded on that cell phone.
I kept thinking, this is a movie, but it was real. It was horrific. It was horrible.
Look at this knife. Y'all see this? Right. Y'all see how this?
What the heck going on already?
This is manipulative behavior of a murderer.
So, how did he get shot in the head?
I don't know. I just know I was trying to get away.
I've seen a lot of evil in my career, but I've never seen evil document itself like that.
I said, bro, you dancing with the devil.
Okay, well, right now, off the rip, I don't know what's going on, but it says that shot to death in his own home, okay? But I'm gonna have to say right now, it's giving domestic violence, okay? That's what it's giving, because you're showing me a female, and he over here recording all this blood. It's giving domestic violence.
December 29th, 2017. It's 10:50 p.m. in Clayton County, Georgia, as a call breaks the silence of the 911 dispatch center.
There was a 911 call that was placed by a neighbor. Sierra Harp had knocked on her neighbor's door kind of frantically. She was holding her 3-year-old daughter, Angel. The neighbor can tell, number one, that she's been stabbed multiple times.
She been stabbed?
Number two, that she's been stabbed seriously.
Okay.
When police arrive, they quickly encounter the victim, 28-year-old Sierra Harp.
She was hysterical. No one could understand what she was saying, and she was bleeding heavily.
Her neighbor, who called 911, tells police that Sierra lives in a nearby apartment with her child's father, Raheem Grant.
Okay.
The neighbor had kind of gotten a little bit of information about that there had been a domestic, but she had no idea where Raheem was. And so the neighbor actually locked the door behind them because she was concerned that Raheem was going to come after Sierra in some way, shape, or form.
Officers cautiously make their way to Sierra's apartment to find Raheem.
They were able to walk through the front door. They made a turn to the left, and that's where they were first confronted with Raheem's body. Most of the bottom of his body was in the bathroom, and then the top portion of his body was laying face down in the bedroom. Officers were able to observe at least 3 bullet wounds, 2 in his back and 1 in his head.
He done got shot
Police
too?
realized pretty quickly that he was not alive when they got there.
Dang.
With an apparent homicide and an injured victim on their hands, first responders quickly called detectives to the scene.
In the bedroom area, they see that the mirror had been pierced by a bullet. There were perforations in the wall.
There was a lot of blood on the wall. They found 7 shell casings. They found a few around his body, and then 1 was actually on the bed.
Detectives find a driver's license and are able to confirm that the deceased is Raheem Grant.
Okay.
The key piece of evidence in the investigation is victimology. It's what brought the victim into this circumstance, trying to learn, is there some type of history for all the parties that we have involved? Who are the people that were in this location?
The victim always has something to say, even after they're in the grave.
The 911 call was made by a downstairs neighbor of Sierra Harp's. After everything had happened, she picked up her 3-year-old daughter and fled to this neighbor's house. I'm sorry, the neighbor's apartment, and knocked on the door. And she's standing there holding a baby, and she has blood all over her. And she told the neighbor that there was something that had happened in her apartment, and she needed to come in and she needed to call the police. They're going to take a look, and they're going to seal that crime scene down. They're going to photograph it, and the best piece of evidence they have at this moment is Raheem's body. That's always the key piece of evidence in any homicide investigation is the victim's body. So that's going to be photographed from multiple angles, multiple shots, wide angles, close-up angles, so forth, things like that. Then they're going to photograph the shell casings. They're going to measure where those shell casings are from what they call a baseline, and they'll figure out where the gun was in relation to the body and things like that. They're going to photograph other areas of the house, and thankfully they did. The one big box that was left to be checked off was, how do we get into Raheem's phone? Because detectives can get a search warrant, but it's not always necessarily going to happen that we can get into that phone. So this was actually rather crafty detective work on the part of the Clayton County Police Department. Sierra was not a suspect. At this point, she was a witness. Okay. So the detectives actually called Sierra up and said, hey, we're about ready to close this case. The one thing that's left to remain, though, we'd like to get into Raheem's phone and see if there's any further evidence that we need, but there's a passcode on it. Do you happen to know what that passcode is? And she gave them the passcode to get into the phone. Well, the first image on the first video is Raheem's bloody face.
Okay.
So that's the first thing he looks at. And the first video is Raheem talking to his phone. And he says, y'all see this? This is what that bitch Sierra Harp did to me. And it's his bloody face. And you can hear Sierra yelling in the background. She's yelling, really, Raheem? Really? And he's saying, see this? I think the moment that she snapped was when she realized he's videotaping this. He gets to play this over and over and over, and that's it.
I'm never condoning domestic violence, but the thing is, like, I'm gonna be really honest with you. Yes, we have a dead body, and we have a girl who is stabbed up. How do we know that, even though he's recording what's going on, how do we know that she wasn't defending herself? How do we know that? We don't know that yet. Don't worry about it.
I'm not going to let him do this to me. I'll show him. That's when she went out and picked the gun up, and she took over his position of power. And then she realized, now I'm in the power position that I've always sought. Now you're on the ground and you're begging me to help you. And that's what she had wanted from Raheem. And she took advantage of that power position.
How do y'all know that?
She shot him 5 more times, ultimately killing him. At that point, she realized that she needed, now she's killed a guy. Now she's got to cover it up and make it look like she didn't cold-blooded kill him like she just did. And that's when she got to stabbing herself. When she stabbed herself in the legs, came up with this entire story that he had attacked her. She picks her daughter up, walks down the steps to the neighbor's apartment, throws the knife away as she's doing it.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's when she tells the neighbor, call the police. He attacked me. If she needed...
Oh, my goodness. I was not ready for it. I was like, dang, like, girl might have really been defending herself. No. You stabbed yourself to come up with this story. I don't even think I could harm myself in the midst of doing this, though. Like, that's really crazy. Like, I know I would probably be scared if it was me at the fact that I have a dead person right here. But it's like, I don't think that I would be able to hurt myself to save myself from what? Going to jail? No. Because I feel like at the point that you have made the choice to possibly unalive someone, I feel like you there now. Like, I'm in the thick of it. I'm committed. I'm gonna sit in jail proudly about it now, because it's like, I can't go back from here, because I just can't see myself hurting myself after I just did that. This is just crazy.
She had a loving mother right up until she went on trial. Her mother would have been there to help her. She had a brother, she had a sister, she had family in the area. She had friends that she could have gone to, but she chose the life of, she wanted to be a rap star's girlfriend. That's what she wanted. She did not want help. She wanted the fame.
Okay, was he trying to like break up with her or something? Like, I don't understand. Like, they was together. That's why y'all saying this is his girlfriend. So like what's the issue? You know what I'm saying? I just want to know what led up to this now.
I do feel justice was served for Raheem. Sierra ended up being convicted on all accounts, and she was sentenced to 125 years to serve.
125? 125 years. This is crazy. 125 years. Well, we did it. Already did it. Gotta serve my time.
I know that a lot of people will say, well, why wasn't she sentenced to life in prison? She could always get out after 125 years. She's not getting out.
Who said that? Who said that? Please tell me who said that. Who said that? Because girl is already, I'ma just guesstimate how old these people are, okay? So I'ma say, we just gonna assume girl is 20, okay? We just gonna assume girl is 20 years old. After 125 years, baby, you are 145. That is life. At this point, that is life. You gonna get out. She gonna get out after 140 at being 145 years old, and she gonna be decrepit, struggling, and she ain't gonna have no life after that. So it's like 145 years old, and she gonna get out. That is life. She got life in prison.
She's not going to get out.
Right.
There was, due to sentencing guidelines, she was maxed out on every charge that she was convicted of. She received the ultimate charge, or the ultimate sentence that she could have.
The only other thing I remember is Sierra Harp herself testified. And during the course of her testimony, she never shed a tear. She never seemed sorry. She never seemed sad. Nothing. It was the same affect that she gave to police in the second interview. It was cold. It was as though the trial was an inconvenience to her. The only time that she cried was during sentencing in front of the judge. And she cried to the judge, and she said that she was an abuse victim.
I'm not going to hold you. I probably would not be crying at this point either. I probably would be cold about it too, because I would not be cold because I just unalived someone, but I would be cold at the fact that I've accepted my fate now. I feel like that's what it is. It's like, I can't go back from this. So now I have to accept what's going on. I wouldn't even cry at the sentence, and she over here crying at the years. Baby, what you thought was going to happen? You thought you was going to get off? No.
That she didn't want to go to prison for long.
It's not just justice for Raheem, it's justice for Angel. It's justice for Geraldine. Angel was robbed of her mother and her father in one night. And I don't know how much of a mother Sierra was, but she did recognize her as her mother. What Raheem had to go through, he went through that night. And that's over for him. But this will be with Angel for the rest of her life. I just don't know if there's any amount of justice that can be implemented.
He didn't deserve to die. I don't think nobody, I don't wish death on nobody, because you can't come back from it. There's no coming back. It's no point of return after that. But the way he died was very much so wrong.
I think the way we should remember Raheem as a person, with a young man with a lot of potential that he did not get to reach. It's somebody who was a loving father who's stepping up to the plate as a father. And regardless of the defense theories or what happened in the past, Raheem had a chance for a bright future that he did not get a chance to see, and that is a tragedy. So we all regret that.
And we don't know what impact he would have had on Angel. Really pushing her through school, becoming a father figure, making her become, a pillar of society. We don't know what would happen. And sometimes that's the biggest tragedy, is the not knowing.
My motivation for speaking about Raheem today is just to enlighten the world on how good of a person that he was, how respectful he was, how caring he was for that little girl. And I'll always have her in my mind and in my heart for her having to have seen such a tragic moment at such a young age.
Raheem had a great future, and his daughter is the one that is really having to deal with the pain like me. And we go through this pain together.
Okay, I just want to say, first of all, I feel like no one should go through domestic violence regardless, okay? If the girlfriend really was getting like abused, I feel bad for her. I do. I never think that extent of an argument or what have you should go that far as unaliving someone or anything like that. I don't believe that at all. Love is a powerful thing, y'all. Love is a powerful thing.
And I don't know when she get big how it's gonna affect her or what she's gonna do. But I try to keep her close.
I think Raheem should be remembered as someone who, if he was a book, we never got the chance to read that book to the end. We never got a chance to get to the conclusion, to see how his rap career would have ended, how high he would have gone.
No, for real, because right now, I don't know this man, but the thing is, if he was somebody, now we just would never know. You know what I'm saying? Some people's lives end too soon, and that's really crazy.
He would have gone. We never got to see him reach his full potential. And more importantly, we never got to see him age and become an even better dad. We never got to see that. And even more importantly, we never got to see that little girl get to walk down the aisle with her father, get to see her graduate or do great things. That little girl has lost a mother and lost a father, and that is just heartbreaking.
Well, my son, Raheem was one of a kind. When he was born, he was always into exploring different things. He was very smart. He always had a great memory. He could remember your phone number. A lot of times we would laugh because, like, if you give him your phone number, he will call you back. He's been into entertainment ever since he was like 3.5 years old. Yes, he started doing the drums, and then he went from there on the microphone. And then when I did a TV show, he wanted to be the educational rapper. And that's when I started to work with him in the business of entertainment, where he became a teenager. And he was like, you know what? I think I want to change from being the educational rapper to being a gangster rapper. I'm like, no, we're not going to talk about it. I don't think we want to do that. And then he was like, well, I really do. I want to change and be a gangster rapper, because he couldn't do that when he was younger. But once he became, I think, up in his teens and got legitimate, as they say, a legitimate age, he decided then that he wanted to be an gangster rapper. And that's what he started doing on his own, with me as his manager, and I always helped him with his career. Sierra was never crazy. She was always a person that thought out carefully what she did. Even before I knew she was doing what she was doing, I was around her. She would always think about doing this, think about doing that. She would write down what she would do. So it wasn't like she was just crazy, and that's what everybody wanted to make it seem like she was crazy.
Right.
No, she's very, very intelligent. That morning, somebody came banging on my door. And I think it was like maybe 6 o'clock, and it was the police officer, because there was banging. And then I look out my window, and it was Clayton County. And I'm like, okay, why is Clayton County here? I'm in Fayetteville. Why is Clayton County here? And first thing came on my mind was loud music. Raheem that was the first thing. And then it was like, okay, but the police is here. Has he gotten shot? Has he gotten into some trouble? I said, well, go ahead and tell me. I said, what has Raheem done now? I said, you all got him. I'll be down to get him. And they was like, no, he's been murdered. Well, no, not murdered. He's been shot. He's dead. At that time, it hit me. And then that's when I was like, you know, this can't be real. What's happening? Who shot him? Why is he dead? I couldn't believe it. It was like I was in another world, out of body experience, where you didn't know how to think. And why are they playing this joke on me? That's what it was.
Okay, y'all, I just want y'all to know that domestic violence is a real thing out here, okay? It's hurting more and more of our community. I'm gonna be really honest with you. Mental health is a real thing. I just want everybody to get the help that they need, okay? Also, I want y'all to understand, regardless of anybody else's opinions about your situation or anybody else's situation, I need y'all to understand that there are literally 3 sides to a story. It's going to be they side, and then the actual truth, okay? We can all assume what happened or what transpired throughout this situation, but we will never really know unless it's like, oh, blatantly documented. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless it's like, oh, recorded. Oh, because some people have video footage inside their house. Some people have that type of stuff. But if you don't have that and you don't have that type of evidence of what happened to you, it's hard to tell your story sometimes, you know? So I just want all y'all to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Like I said to y'all, love is a powerful drug, okay? Love is a hard thing and a hard pill and a hard situation to get through with other people, okay? But I love y'all and I hope y'all be safe out here. I need y'all to go like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead, comment down below. And I'm out.